my sunshine.
On January 7th, 2017, my biological son was born to another woman. She gave birth to him on a cold winter night in a hospital in New York City, while I laid in my bed in Portland, Oregon. I'm not sure I'm supposed to call him my son. She gets to call him that. She's his mom, and she is with him while I am 3,000 miles away. When my husband and I decided to donate our frozen embryo to a woman in New York, we weren't even sure it would become a pregnancy, let alone a living baby boy. It was the toughest decision we've ever made. After 7 years of battling infertility and 2 rounds of IVF, we were left with 1 painful miscarriage, the birth of beautiful twins, and 1 frozen embryo. The twins were born 5 years ago, and every day since then has been both a joy and a challenge. Once a year, amongst all that challenge and joy, we got a notice from the fertility clinic reminding us that we had a frozen embryo and asking us what we wanted to do with it. We could pay for another year of storage. We could have the embryo disposed of. We could donate it to science, or we could donate to another family. For years, I felt too overwhelmed to make the decision, so I kept paying for storage. In the end, and after much soul searching, I chose to donate to another. If I wasn't going to try for this baby on my own, which, believe me, a big part of me wanted to, I felt a strong need to give to someone else who had been through her own pregnancy struggle. I felt as if all the pain that surrounded my own journey to becoming a mother could be given purpose if only I could try to help relieve someone else's pain. This brings me back to the middle of the snowy night in New York City. I was about to go to sleep when I got a text from her saying he'd likely be born soon. I wrote her back and let her know that I was still awake. After a few exchanges, it occurred to me that I was her person that night. I lay in bed and texted her words of strength through my tears. Once you see him, the rest won't matter. I promise, I told her. Please don't feel alone. I'm with you in spirit. The news of his birth came early the next morning, and a range of emotions overwhelmed me. I imagined how perfect he must be. I just knew he was perfect. And then it happened. A photo of him came via text. As it flashed on my screen, my heart shot down into my stomach, and I threw my phone across the room. I only saw him for a second, but I knew exactly what he looked like. He looked like my other son, with a touch of my daughter. He had my husband's nose and mouth, and my forehead. His eyes were closed, so I wasn't sure whose those were yet. When I picked up my phone to look at the photo again, I could not stop staring. I had been right. He was perfect. And you know what? I wanted him. I admit it. I wanted to fly to New York and take him. Forget generosity, forget kindness, forget doing the right thing. I wanted him back. The sounds of new texts on my phone brought me back to reality. Her loved ones' responses began rolling in. Congratulations. He's perfect. I'm crying with joy. He's wonderful and so handsome. You both look so beautiful cuddling. And the final text said, God is good. As I sat there alone in my bedroom, I thought, what? God is good? No, I am good. I wanted someone to acknowledge me. I wanted someone to thank me. I wanted someone to tell me that what I had done was beautiful. I wanted to be held on the shoulders of a parade of women and have my own version of For She's a Jolly Good Fellow. Perhaps my song would go, For she's a heartbroken mother. Please tell her she did the right thing. A journey like this teaches you about strong relationships, about the strength of your character and the limits to that strength. I had my inner circle of fellow mothers that I chose to share with. From the moment I decided to donate, to the moment I found out she was pregnant, to the moment I found out he was a boy, to the day he was born. The women in my life listened. Although none of them could have known exactly how I felt, I could see the reflection of my emotions in their eyes and hear the reassuring tone in their voices that said, I understand. And to those women, I say, thank you. On the day I found out she was pregnant, I went for a drive. I find that sitting behind the wheel of my car on a country road is one of the best places to cry. I'll never forget the moment that day when my car slowed down to a stop at a stop sign. I looked out the passenger side window at the sun shining on a field of grass, and I had an epiphany. In that moment, my heartache cleared. My fear vanished. My sense of loss was no longer. In that moment, I knew that I had made the right decision. I was sure that I had given someone the ultimate gift, the opportunity to love unconditionally. And in that moment, I was sure that that